Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're not just looking at a game, we're diving headfirst into a world, really. A world where, shadows are your allies, where family secrets span generations, and where, well, justice operates a bit differently, maybe outside the usual lines.
Yeah, it makes you think, doesn't it? About hidden legacies, the weight of your family's past.
Exactly. And what happens when, this ancient book of secrets isn't just a MacGuffin, but the key to this massive global chase? And maybe even the key to figuring out who you really are.
It's those kinds of questions, isn't it? About who we are, what we inherit, but also what we choose to fight for. That's what makes stories stick with you.
Absolutely. That feeling that your history isn't just handed to you, but maybe something you have to, risk everything to get back.
Yeah, it's a powerful idea.
And that's exactly the kind of territory we're exploring today. Our deep dive is all about Sly Cooper and the Thievvious Raccoonus. Now, this was a PlayStation 2 game, came out back in 2002. And, on the surface, it looks like this fun, bright, kind of cartoony stealth platformer.
Right, very stylish, very stylish. But trust me, underneath that cel-shaded look, there's actually a surprisingly poignant story. It digs into loss and family, and the gameplay itself is genuinely tense, keeps you right on the edge.
And some real artistic innovation, too, for its time.
Oh, totally. It kind of defined a certain look for that era.
And what gets me is how it balances that, It presents itself as this lighthearted adventure, but then it layers in these, really quite deep themes.
Yeah.
It's not just go collect the things. It's about piecing together the shattered legacy, asking what really makes someone great. And you see this chosen family form, right? In the middle of all this loss. It's pretty cleverly done.
So our mission today is to peel back those layers. We're going to really dig into what drives these characters because they're unforgettable. We'll break down the clever design, the gameplay mechanics that keep you guessing, keep that tension high.
Yeah, the mechanics are key, and then we'll grapple with those bigger questions it asks, about legacy and identity. So for you listening in, think of this as like a shortcut. You'll get why this game still resonates, maybe have some aha moments about storytelling in games.
And maybe find some unexpected insights.
Yeah.
Right? Into what makes a character stick with you.
Exactly. We're connecting the dots from the charming visuals to these bigger themes. Hopefully you'll leave well-informed, maybe a bit surprised, and definitely with stuff to think about.
Sounds good. Where do we start? With Sly himself.
Let's do it. Let's set the stage for Sly and this incredible stolen heritage that basically defines his whole life.
Right, because the stakes in Sly Cooper are just boom, right there from the start.
Yeah.
Lays this foundation. It's adventure, sure, but it's also deeply personal. Hooks you right in.
Okay, let's really get into it. At the center, obviously, is Sly Cooper. He's an anthropomorphic raccoon. And he's the last living member of this super long line of master thieves.
With a very specific code.
Yes, that's the crucial part. They primarily steal from other criminals. Just that little phrase, it changes everything, doesn't it? It immediately raises all these interesting questions.
It really does. That rule, stealing from other criminals, it's like the game's moral compass. And it immediately sets Sly apart. He's not just a thief. He's not a villain. He's almost like a vigilante,
Yeah, like a Robin Hood kind of figure, but sneakier.
Exactly. Operating outside the law, but kind of correcting injustices the official system misses, or maybe even ambles. It suggests this idea that sometimes the law isn't enough, right? And someone with Sly's skills has to step in to find a different kind of balance.
And that makes him really appealing, doesn't it? You can root for him, even though technically he's breaking the law, because his targets, they're usually much worse.
Right. He's a thief, sure, but a good thief, maybe. Targeting folks who, let's be honest, probably have it coming.
Totally. And it's not just about personal gain either. It's about reclaiming something huge, something that defines his whole family line. The game's full title even tells you Sly Cooper and the Thievvious Raccoonus, or Sly Raccoon in Europe and other places.
Developed by Sucker Punch, published by Sony.
Yeah, and that title points right at this specific family heirloom, this ancient book. It's central. But Sly's path to actually getting that book, it gets cut short. Violently.
Yeah, this is where the personal stakes just skyrocket. It turns what could have been just another adventure into this really emotional quest rooted in some serious trauma.
So picture this. It's Sly's 8th birthday. Should be a happy day, right? He's supposed to inherit this family treasure, the Thievvious Raccoonus, this ancient book filled with generations of secret thieving techniques.
The family legacy, basically.
Exactly. And instead of getting the book, his world just falls apart. It's designed to make you feel for him instantly. You want justice for this kid.
It's a genuinely catastrophic origin story. It makes everything personal for you, the player. You imagine this kid, probably super excited, ready to be like his ancestors.
Yeah.
And then bam, his home gets invaded by this group called the Fiendish Five.
And they don't just rob the place. They murder his father. Right there.
Brutal.
Then they rip the pages out of the Thievvious Raccoonus, steal them, and scatter them all over the world. And they use that stolen knowledge, his family's knowledge, to build their own criminal empires.
So it's not just a stolen book. It's his whole legacy, his birthright, his future, just ripped away. Horrifyingly. The emotional weight there is massive.
Yeah, it's not just, oh, I need to get the MacGuffin back. It's, I need to reclaim my family's soul.
Exactly. That event, it completely changes Sly's life. It sets him on this lifelong mission. Yeah, there's vengeance in there for sure, you'd understand that. But it's also deeper, right? Restoring his family's honor, reclaiming what was stolen.
What does that do to a kid, having your destiny, your whole heritage just violently taken?
It creates this incredibly powerful connection for the player. The stakes go way beyond just finding treasure. It's about, like, how do you rebuild yourself when your past has been erased like that?
And right out of that awful loss, something new actually starts to grow, a different kind of family.
Right. After the tragedy, Sly ends up in an orphanage, which could have just been more sadness, right?
Could have been, yeah.
But instead, it's where he meets the people who become his future. It's a great example of that chosen family idea.
Totally. He forms these incredibly strong bonds with two other kids there. They become his partners, his best friends, basically his new family.
Got Bentley the Turtle. He's the brains. Absolutely brilliant technician, planner, gadget guy, the strategist.
The one who figures out how they pull off the impossible.
Exactly. And then there's Murray the Hippo. He's the muscle, the getaway driver, but also just raw power when they need it. Surprisingly agile for a hippo, too.
He gets them out of tight spots, usually by smashing through something.
Pretty much. And this trio, this unconventional little group, they become the Cooper Gang.
International vigilante thieves.
Right. This really tight-knit, unusual family, united by this shared goal. When they turn 16, they leave the orphanage, and Sly makes this vow.
Yeah.
Avenge his father, get those pages back.
And that's what kicks off their global quest. It's not just about stealing things or getting revenge, it's about healing that original wound. And maybe figuring out what family even means when your blood relatives are gone.
And that backstory, it grounds everything. It establishes the emotional core, the high stakes. So every jump, every stealth move, every risk Sly takes, it's not just for the gameplay objective. It's driven by this really deep personal mission.
Yeah, it makes the gameplay feel more meaningful.
Totally. It's this blend of personal drama and, high adventure thrills that makes the gameplay itself so engaging.
Okay, let's talk about that gameplay then, because it really is this masterful mix, isn't it? Precision platforming, but also that real nail-biting stealth tension.
Oh, yeah. It's a constant dance with danger. Keeps you focused. And the mechanics are designed to make you feel like a thief.
How so? What makes it tense?
Well, the way the mechanics work, they constantly remind you of the stakes, that hum of danger. It's a third-person platformer, yeah, but stealth is absolutely the core. I remember seeing it described once, I think in official US PlayStation magazine. They called it like one-hit kill arcade action mixed with Splinter Cell sneaking.
Wow, okay. One-hit kill arcade action with Splinter Cell sneaking. That description really hits home, doesn't it?
Right. It cranks the tension way up.
Because you can't just soak up damage. Sly is, well, he's pretty fragile. Usually one hit from a guard or even bumping into the wrong environmental hazard.
Zap. Back to the checkpoint.
Exactly. Instant defeat. And that vulnerability, it changes everything. It forces you ruthlessly to use stealth, to think tactically, to use the environment, not just run and swinging.
Every single encounter feels like a little puzzle you have to solve carefully. Every move feels deliberate. You constantly feel that threat of being spotted.
So that one-hit kill mechanic, it really shapes how you play, how invested you feel.
Absolutely. You have to be deliberate. Timing matters. Planning matters.
Yeah.
Mistakes are costly. It reinforces that Sly is skilled, agile, but not invincible. He relies on cunning, not just toughness.
Puts you right in his shoes, yeah. Feeling vulnerable, but also capable.
Exactly. That mix creates this constant kind of thrilling tension.
And to help you navigate these tricky situations, the game gives Sly this really cool, almost supernatural ability, his thief senses.
Ah, yeah, the blue sparkles.
Right, as you're moving around, you'll see these spots shimmering with this blue light. They're like little hints guiding you towards secret paths or opportunities.
And it's such a clever way to guide the player without, like, big flashing arrows. It feels organic.
Yeah.
These sparkles, they show you where Sly can do his special moves, context-sensitive stuff.
Like what kind of moves?
Oh, shimmying along really narrow ledges, landing perfectly balanced on tiny points like antennas or streetlights way above the guards.
That looks impossible.
Totally. Climbing up pipes like a raccoon. Or using his cane, which is a family heirloom, remember, as a grappling hook.
So the system makes these complex moves feel intuitive.
Yeah, pretty much. But it also visually reinforces that Sly is a master thief. It's like you're seeing his natural talent, his birthright, in action. It subtly shows you that generations of skill are just, like, in his blood.
It makes you wonder, what is that thief sense? Is it just learned observation or something more, like a sixth sense for finding the way?
Yeah, it adds this little bit of mystique to his abilities.
And that feeling of constant danger, of always needing to be aware, it's amped up even more by the music, isn't it?
Oh, the music is huge. It's not just background noise, it's dynamic. It reacts to what's happening.
How does that work?
Well, when Sly attacks someone, or more importantly, when a guard spots him, the music just kicks up a notch, the volume increases, the tempo gets faster, maybe more drums come in.
You feel that jolt, right? That uh-oh moment.
Totally.
Yeah.
Instant adrenaline spike. Then, if you manage to disappear back into the shadows or take out the guard, the music calms back down. Gets quiet, stealthy again. It's like the whole world holds its breath with you.
An auditory tightrope walk, yeah.
Exactly. That dynamic audio loop, it constantly reinforces the stakes. It's this immediate signal. Are you safe or are you busted?
Yeah.
Creates this constant tension, keeps you totally locked in.
Super effective. Okay, so as you're sneaking around doing all this cool stuff, you're also working towards that main goal, getting the Thievvious Raccoonus back. How does that actually work in the game?
Right. You're literally piecing together his ancestral knowledge as you play. And this is where the book becomes more than just a story point. It's a core mechanic.
How so?
In each area, each part of a villain's lair, you find these hidden clue bottles. They're usually tucked away in clever spots.
Okay, collectibles, but are they just for points?
No, that's the clever part. If you collect all the clue bottles in a section, it gives you the combination to a safe hidden somewhere in that level.
Ah, and inside the safe
is a page from the Thievvious Raccoonus, a tangible piece of his stolen heritage. So collecting them feels really important, and it makes you super curious about what each new page will unlock.
So the pages actually do something. They're not just lore text.
Exactly. They grant Sly new abilities, really useful stuff, game-changing sometimes, like creating a decoy to distract guards.
Oh, nice.
Or dropping an explosive hat like a little timed mine. Or entirely new moves, better ways to sneak, new combat techniques. Plus, beating the main bosses of each world often gives you a crucial ability you'll need for later levels.
So you feel Sly actually growing stronger, learning his family's secrets as he reclaims the pages?
Precisely.
Yeah.
It brilliantly ties the gameplay progression directly to the main story goal. Recovering the book feels rewarding on multiple levels, and it keeps you wondering, what other amazing skills are hidden in that book? What else did his ancestors figure out?
Reinforces that the book is this living history full of potential.
Exactly.
And the game mixes things up too, right? It's not just stealth and platforming all the time.
No, definitely not. There's a surprising amount of variety, which keeps things fresh and often pretty funny.
Yeah.
Like you're always collecting coins.
Classic platformer stuff.
Right. And you use those coins to buy lucky horseshoes. Basically, extra hits or lives. Kind of raises the stakes a little bit, makes collecting coins useful without being too punishing.
What else?
Well, you get these great mini games featuring Bentley and Murray, shows off their skills, gives you a break from Sly's gameplay. Murray has these awesome high-speed driving sections.
He's mashing through things, I bet.
Yeah. Then there are shooting sections where Sly has to cover Murray. And Bentley gets these cool, kind of intricate hacking mini games with a little cyber tank, shows off his smarts.
So you get to play as the whole gang, in a way.
In these specific sections, yeah. There's even a rhythm-based boss battle.
Really? Okay, that's unexpected.
Totally. Keeps you on your toes. You never know quite what's coming next.
And I heard there's stuff to do after you beat the main story, too, for replayability.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. You can go back into levels and do master sprints. Basically time trials. Beat the target time. Prove your skills.
Bragging rates.
Totally. And completing those, or finding other secrets, often unlocks bonus content, like developer commentary or concept art, gives you a peek behind the curtain.
That adds a whole other layer, doesn't it? Lets
Yeah.
you appreciate the craft behind the game.
Yeah, exactly. Extends the value beyond just finishing the story. So all this intricate gameplay, the high stakes, the rewards, the variety, it all fuels the Cooper gang's big quest, leading them right into the path of these really colorful, really dangerous characters who have the stolen pages.
Right, the Fiendish Five. And this isn't just a local problem Sly's dealing with. It's a global chase right from the get-go. Kicks off in Paris.
Yep, Paris, France. The Cooper gang starts by infiltrating Interpol headquarters. Not for jewels, but for a secret police file on the Fiendish Five.
Okay, hitting Interpol HQ first. That's audacious. Immediately raises the stakes, puts them on the radar of global law enforcement.
Big time. And during that heist, they get ambushed by Inspector Carmelita Fox. She's this really driven Interpol officer who develops this very personal vendetta against Sly and his crew.
So she becomes this recurring antagonist.
Exactly, but she's complex, not evil, just fiercely dedicated to the law. And, well, maybe a little bit intrigued by Sly, too. Adds this great tension.
That cat and mouse dynamic sounds fun. So it's not just about getting the pages back, it's about outsmarting the villains and the law.
Pretty much. And despite Carmelita showing up, the gang gets the file and makes a clean getaway in their van. Shows how competent they are working together, sets the stage. They use that file to track down the Fiendish Five one by one all over the world.
And these Fiendish Five members are not just sitting around, right? They've used the stolen pages.
Yeah. Each one has built their own unique criminal empire, using the specific knowledge from the pages they stole. It creates this great escalating structure. Each villain is different, each location is new, keeps you curious.
Okay, let's run through this rogues gallery. They sound like quite the bunch. Who's first?
First up is Sir Raleigh. He's a frog. A pirate frog.
A pirate frog. Okay.
Yep, set up shop in Wales. And he's built this insane storm machine. Literally controls the weather to sink ships so he can loot the treasure.
He weaponized the Cooper clan's knack for mechanics.
Pretty much. Twisted it for piracy.
Wild. Who's next?
Then you head to the American West, Utah, meet Mugshot. He's this huge American bulldog gangster, total brute force kind of guy.
What's his deal?
He basically took over a whole city to build his massive gambling empire. Seems like he used the Cooper knowledge about, organizing things, building networks, but twisted it for ruthless territorial control. All muscle, where Sly is all finesse.
Interesting contrast. Okay, 2 down. Who else?
Things get weirder. Next stop, Haiti. You find Ims Ruby, an alligator mystic.
An alligator mystic.
Yeah, and she's not just doing regular crime. She's raising an undead army using voodoo.
Ooh. Okay, that's a sharp turn from gambling empires.
Right? Seems she twisted Cooper knowledge about, ancient rituals or maybe psychological tricks into actual dark magic. Forces Sly to adapt his stealth against something totally supernatural.
That must have been a shock for players.
Definitely keeps things unpredictable.
Okay, 1 left before the leader.
The last of the main 4 is the Panda King in China. He's a giant panda and a master of explosives.
Fireworks.
Exactly. But he uses them for destruction, extorting villages, blowing things up, turns this beautiful art form into a weapon of terror, probably using stolen knowledge about demolition.
So each villain really shows how the Thievvious Raccoonus knowledge was corrupted and weaponized.
Totally. It underlines why getting those pages back is so important.
And it's a global tour of crime.
Yeah.
So as Sly beats each one, he gets their pages back.
Yep, reclaims that part of his legacy. But interestingly, he doesn't just leave them defeated. He arranges for Carmelita to find and arrest them.
So justice is served, kind of by proxy. Keeps that dynamic with her going too.
Right. And crucially, each defeated villain reveals where the next one is hiding. Creates this clear path, building momentum towards the final showdown.
With the leader, the one behind it all.
Exactly. This global hunt builds and builds, escalating the challenge, showing how dangerous the stolen book is in the wrong hands. All leading inevitably to the architect of Sly's tragedy.
Okay, this is the climax then. The mastermind behind the Fiendish Five. Who is it?
The leader is Clockwork. And he's not just another quirky animal villain. He's described as this elusive mechanical owl. Ancient, mysterious, powerful.
Mechanical, not just an owl.
Nope, he's mechanical, which immediately raises questions, right? How? Why? The mystery around him builds incredible tension.
So the gang finally tracks him down.
Yeah, they breach his lair, which is hidden inside a Russian volcano. Very dramatic. But then, the gut punch. They discover he's captured Carmelita.
No. Okay, that totally personalizes the final threat, forces Sly's hand.
Absolutely. Yeah. Suddenly, it's not just about revenge or the book. He has to save his rival. It raises the emotional stakes massively. How are these two, the thief and the cop, possibly going to work together against this ancient mechanical terror?
Creates huge curiosity about that dynamic.
It's a critical moment. Sly, being Sly, rescues her. And after a tense moment, they agree to this temporary truce. A very fragile alliance to take down Clockwork.
That truce must be loaded with tension, duty, rivalry, maybe something else.
Oh yeah, you can feel the history between them, the unspoken attraction maybe. It has this whole personal layer to the final battle, but the real bombshell comes from Clockwork himself during the fight.
What does he reveal?
This is where the story gets really deep, philosophically. Clockwork confesses he's also a master thief.
Wait, Clockwork was a thief too?
Yep. And this whole thing, this centuries-long campaign against the Cooper clan, it's fueled by bitter jealousy. He felt the Coopers always eclipsed him with their superior talents. Their legacy constantly overshadowed his.
So it's not just greed or power, it's envy. A generations-old rivalry.
Exactly. It reframes everything.
Yeah.
He's this dark mirror to Sly. And his ultimate goal, to destroy the Cooper legacy completely. He reveals he converted himself into a machine that's the mechanical part specifically to achieve immortality, to outlive them, to finally erase their name from history.
Wow, that's intense dedication to a grudge.
Right, and then the final devastating blow. He admits he killed Sly's father and stole the Thievvious Raccoonus for one reason, to prove that the Cooper clan was nothing without the book.
Oof, that hits right at the core of Sly's identity, doesn't it?
Totally. But it sets up this incredibly meaningful moment. Sly, facing this ancient hate-filled machine, delivers the perfect counter-argument. He says basically, it took great thieves to create the book rather than the other way around.
That's the heart of it, isn't it?
That's the absolute core. It becomes this debate. Where does greatness come from? Is it the inherited knowledge, the book, the tools? Or is it the innate skill, the spirit, the talent, the person, and the chosen family that actually creates the legacy?
Nature versus nurture for master thieves.
Pretty much. Does the book make the thief, or does the thief make the book? It's a question that sticks with you, way beyond the game.
A really profound question to find in a game about a cartoon raccoon.
Right. But the story doesn't quite end there, even after Clockwork is defeated.
What happens with Carmelita? Does the truce hold?
Nope. Duty calls. Carmelita immediately ends the truce, tries to arrest Sly, but she gives him a 10-second head start. A little sign of respect, maybe.
Okay, tension's back up. What does Sly do?
What Sly always does, something unexpected and charming. He uses the 10 seconds to kiss her.
He kisses her.
Yep. Catches her completely off guard. Then, quick as a flash, handcuffs her to a railing and makes his escape with Bentley and Murray.
Huh. Okay, that's bold. How does she react?
Apparently, she's initially smitten, just for a second. Then reality hits. She realizes she's been duped and handcuffed, and she's furious. Swears she'll hunt him down.
Perfect. Keeps that dynamic alive for future stories. The chase continues.
Exactly. It solidifies their relationship, rivalry, duty, attraction, all mixed up. But wait, there's one more thing.
Oh, after the credits.
Yep. The ultimate cliffhanger. You think it's all over, Clockwork scrap metal, and then just before the screen goes black, one of Clockwork's eyes flashes open.
No way! Chills!
Right. Immediately throws everything into doubt. Is he really gone? Is the threat over? It perfectly sets up the sequel and leaves you, the listener, with this lingering thought about immortality and whether some evils can truly be destroyed.
Wow. That's how you build lasting intrigue. That showdown, the philosophy, the cliffhanger. It shows this game had real narrative depth.
Absolutely. And that depth in storytelling was matched by some serious innovation in how the game was actually made.
Yeah, let's talk about that, because the look and feel of Sly Cooper were pretty groundbreaking at the time, weren't they?
Oh, completely. The visual style, the technical execution, it was a real achievement.
Okay, so the look. It's often called toon shading or cel shading. What was Sucker Punch going for with that?
They had this really ambitious goal. They wanted, and this is a quote, a film noir feel, moody, shadows, mystery, but they wanted it to look like a hand-drawn animated film.
Film noir meets animation. That's a cool blend.
Yeah. Brian Fleming from Sucker Punch said they wanted Sly and his world to look illustrated, like one step away from a flattened graphic style.
Yeah.
Almost like a moving comic book.
And pulling that off on the PlayStation 2, that must have been tough. Consoles back then weren't exactly powerhouses for that kind of rendering.
Exactly. It was a huge technical challenge. While lots of games were chasing realism, often ending up kind of muddy, Sucker Punch committed to this sharp, clean, cel-shaded look. Getting those crisp outlines and flat colors without slowdown or jaggies was really hard on the PS2 hardware.
So how did they manage it?
Sheer dedication, apparently. They had at least one engineer working on nothing but performance for the entire development of Sly. Just focused on making sure the frame rate didn't tank. That commitment let the art style really shine through without technical issues holding it back.
You can see the care they took in the details too, right? The backgrounds, the character.
Oh yeah. The art team reportedly collected hundreds of photos and drawings for reference to make sure places like Wales or China felt authentic, even within the stylized look. And the character designs went through 6 or 8 major revisions. That tells you how much they refined things to get it just right.
That level of polish really shows.
And it wasn't just the visuals. The sound design, especially the music, was just as crucial to the whole experience.
Right. The composer was Ashif Hakik. What was his approach?
He drew inspiration directly from the game's art and the different locations Sly visits. He wanted the music to feel totally connected to the world.
Did he mention any specific influences?
Yeah, some really cool ones. He cited Yoko Kanno, famous for Cowboy Bebop.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Henry Mancini, the film composer.
Oh.
And Carl Stalling, who did the classic Looney Tunes scores.
Okay, that's quite a mix. Jazz, film scores, cartoon music.
You can hear it all in there. That blend gives the soundtrack its unique personality. But the really clever part was the tech behind it.
The interactive music engine.
Exactly. Hagik said the gameplay for each specific level directly influenced how the music was written and how it changed dynamically while you played.
So it wasn't just looping tracks.
No, it was responsive, like we talked about earlier when Sly's sneaking, maybe it's quiet, jazzy, gets spotted, bam, the music surges, becomes more intense. It actively enhanced the immersion and the tension. Really advanced stuff for 2002.
So with all this innovation, this style, this gameplay, how did critics react at the time? Was it well received?
Overwhelmingly positive, yeah. Generally favorable reviews across the board. Got an 86 out of 100 on Metacritic, which is pretty darn good.
What did they praise the most?
The unique visual style got huge props. GameSpot called it a fantastic sense of style. People love the controls too, very responsive, fluid. IGN said, Sly is incredibly responsive, making the platforming feel great.
That's crucial for a platformer.
Totally. And the seamless way it blended gameplay, cutscenes, everything that got praised too, made it feel really polished. And a big one was accessibility. Critics noted it worked well for both adults and kids.
That's a tough balance to strike.
It really is.
Were there any common criticisms, though? Any downsides people pointed out?
Yeah, a couple of recurring points. One was the length. Some felt it was too short.
The classic, I was having fun and then it ended, complaint.
Pretty much. GameSpot said something like, just as you're getting into a groove, the game ends. And some more hardcore players found it a bit easy.
Interesting. How did the developers respond to that? Or how might we think about it now?
Well, Brian Fleming from Sucker Punch defended the length by pointing to all the unlockable bonus content. The commentary, the art saying players reacted really positively to that extra stuff. Suggests maybe they prioritize a tight, replayable experience over just sheer length.
Which, looking back, maybe feels pretty good compared to some massive 100-hour games today.
Could be. And regarding difficulty, that official US PlayStation Magazine review offered a different take. They said it had a pleasant old-school feel, where enemies were tough but maybe not brilliant, and the platforming challenges ramped up steadily.
So challenging, but fair. Rewarding skill over just grinding.
Seems like that was the balance they aimed for. Accessible, but with a satisfying skill curve. Thoughtful design, really.
And did all this critical praise translate into sales? Was it a hit?
Oh yeah. Big commercial success. Sold over 400,000 copies in its first year, hit 800,000 by 2006, got the Sony Greatest Hits re-release treatment, ranked pretty high in sales for that whole console generation.
Nice. Any awards or major recognition?
Definitely. It won 2 big DICE awards, Outstanding Achievement in Animation and Outstanding Achievement in Art Direction. Big nods to that unique visual style.
Well deserved.
Nominated for Best Platformer by places like GameSpot and IGN. And GameSpy even put it on their list of 25 most underrated games of all time, which is interesting.
Underrated despite the success.
Maybe meaning its quality and innovation punched even above its sales numbers, perhaps.
Yeah.
But crucially, all this success cemented Sly Cooper as one of the key PlayStation mascots for that era.
Right, alongside Jak and Daxter and Ratchet and Clank. The big three PS2 platformer heroes.
Exactly. It even led to cool collaborations between the studios, Sucker Punch, Naughty Dog, Insomniac. Shows how important Sly became to the whole PlayStation identity. He left a real mark, not just as a game, but as his compelling story about legacy.
What a journey, huh? From a Sly's personal tragedy, his stolen birthright,
Through those global heists, the stealth, the unique villains.
to that big philosophical clash with Clockwork about what it means to be a master thief, what legacy it really is.
Yeah, we saw how the game built tension with mechanics like the one-hit kills, sparked curiosity with the thief senses and the hidden pages.
And constantly raised the stakes, culminating in that central question. Is greatness inherited through knowledge, like the Thievvious Raccoonus?
Or is it about the innate skill, the spirit, the choices you make, the family you build, the things that create the knowledge in the first place?
Exactly. Does the book make the thief, or does the thief make the book? It makes you think beyond just the game.
It makes you think about your own life, right? What you inherit versus what you build yourself.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into Sly Cooper and the Thievvious Raccoonus, here's that final thought for you, our listener, to chew on. How do you define your own legacy?
Yeah, is it mostly about the tools, the knowledge, the stuff you inherit your own personal Thievvious Raccoonus?
Or is it more fundamentally about your unique skills, your choices, your passions, the connections you forge, the family you build, chosen or otherwise, the things you create?
What Thievvious Raccoonus do you carry? And what does it really mean to you?
Something to ponder. Thanks for joining us on the Deep Dive.